Countless books that have received acclaim and recognition, yet there are hidden gems, literally masterpieces that remain in the shadows, often overshadowed. But these books are just so good that anyone will love them. In this video, we'll show you the 10 top underrated books that deserve more attention. Watch on to find out. At number 10, we have Alexis Owoko's A Moonless, Starless Sky. This book was not completely overlooked, but we just wish more people were talking about it. It was praised by the New York Times as a rich and urgently necessary book. It tells stories of brave Africans resisting extremism in different ways. The author Alexis shares 4 narratives: a couple kidnapped by Joseph Kony's LRA, a Mauritanian fighting against modern slavery, a women's basketball team thriving in Somalia's conflicts, and a vigilante opposing Boko Haram. It sheds lights on the extraordinary lives of ordinary people often overlooked by the world. Okowo is a Nigerian American. She's a gifted storyteller, as she is a reporter. At number 8, we have Amiable with Big Teeth. It was covered briefly during the Black History Month when it came out, and then people stopped talking about it. This book was found in 2009. It was Claude McKay's final novel. Claude McKay, born in Jamaica, was a key figure in the Harlem Resistance. He moved to the US, wrote famous works like If We Must Die, and explored political activism. McKay authored novels, poetry, and essays, receiving recognition for Home to Harlem and other works. His interest in socialism led him to the Soviet Union, but he later became critical and left for Europe. Back in Harlem, he faced conflicts with the Communist Party. McKay's health declined and he found support from a Catholic worker friend, eventually converting to Catholicism before his death in 1948. Amiable with Big Teeth talks about Harlem intellectuals trying to help Ethiopia against fascists, an important but forgotten part of US history. It was a mix of satire about politics in the Depression era, Harlem, and the global story of intrigue and romance. Amiable with Big Teeth explores the worries, hopes, and dreams of African Americans during a critical time for Harlem and America. Moving on to number 8 is All for Nothing by Anthea Bell. This is like one of the most overlooked books ever, in our opinion. However, it's a really good read. This book by the German writer Walter Kempowski, who passed away in 2007, is inspired by his extensive collection of diaries, letters, and memories called Echo Soundings, or Das Echolot, if I'm saying that right. It's a 10-volume compilation reflecting the collective German experience during World War II. Kempowski started the project when he stumbled upon old photos and letters on the street. He decided to gather testimonies from everyone, including concentration camp prisoners and the Reich's high command, presenting them without leaving anything out. In his final novel, All for Nothing, translated by Anthea Bell, the actor echoes his deep appreciation for the intricate detail and commitment to capturing the complete human experience. While the characters in the book may perceive each other based on labels like Jew, Nazi, peasant, aristocrat, Pole, or foreigner, the writer remains steadfast in refusing to see any of them as anything less than fully human. At number 7, we have The Mountain by Paul Yoon. In The Mountain, Paul Yoon showcases his subtle, ethereal, and keenly observant writing across 6 interlinked stories. These tales unfold in various continents and time periods, featuring characters tied together by their haunting past, newfound nomadic lives, and quest for solace in the future. Whether in a sanatorium, in the Hudson Valley, or an inn in the Russian Far East, these characters share the common struggle of reconciling traumatic experiences amid diverse forms of violence, both spiritual and physical. From a morphine-addicted nurse in post-war France to a dissatisfied wife traveling Spain after an explosion, a young woman fleeing Korea for Shanghai, each story unfolds with the characters trying to escape the ghost of their past. New York Magazine praises Yoon as a quotidian surreal craft master, and the Dallas Morning News hails him as, quote, radiant star in the current literary firmament. Yoon crafts his worlds with quiet, insightful, and beautiful prose, as noted in his collection, The Mountain. While each story stands on its own, his restrained voice and perceived reflections on violence affecting the body, landscape, and human soul connect the collection to a cohesive and memorable read. However, this book is still heavily underrated. At number 6, we have The Doll's Alphabet by Kamila Grudova. This book includes much discussion of the sexuality of sewing machines, which was much more of our business than what we were thinking. This book is highly underrated because not a lot of people actually want to read on sewing machine. The Doll's Alphabet is a surreal, ambitious, and exquisitely conceived collection of stories reminiscent of Angel Carter and Margaret Atwood. These tales, themes like dolls, sewing machines, tinned floors, mirrors, and malfunctioning bodies all recur. The stories range from childlike and naive to grotesque and very dark. For instance, Unstitching portrays a feminist revolution. Waxy follows a factory worker holding on to her man in a society frowning upon being manless, and I Got a Machine involves schoolgirls conjuring characters in a dank attic room, where stories like Notes from the Spider, where a half-man, half-spider finds love in a European city, Kamila Gradova reinvents ways to engage with her obsessions, resulting in highly imaginative, original, and discomforting storytelling. In the top 5, we have Signs Preceding the End of the World by Yuri Haria. Originally in Spanish, this beautiful and intriguingly crafted story revolves around language, borders, transition, journey, and life cycles. It follows a Mexican woman trying to reach her brother in America, whose whereabouts and well-being are uncertain. Yuri draws on Aztec mythology, particularly the tale of Quetzalcoatl descending to the underworld to restore humanity, all to tell the woman's journey. Despite its brevity, this poignant book adaptively explores numerous profound themes and caught most people off guard with its genius, its prose, and modern reimagining of Aztec folklore and Mexican literature. At number 4, we have Unnoticed. The Book Thief. The Book Thief by Markus Zusak. The Book Thief is a historical fiction novel by the Australian author Markus Zusak, set in Nazi Germany during World War II. It was published during 2006. Narrated by Death, the story is about Liesel Mieminger, a girl in Nazi Germany during World War II. Living with foster parents Hans and Rosa Huberman, Liesel faces the horrors of war. As Germany's situation worsens, her foster parents hide a Jewish man, Max Vanderberg. Hans helps Liesel learn to read, and she starts stealing books to share stories. Amidst danger, Liesel survives a bombing in her street, losing loved ones. Years later in Sydney, Australia, Liesel dies with memories of her past, and death reflects on the haunting nature of humanity. The Book Thief is an absolutely stunning read anyone will love. At number 3, we have The Secret History by Donna Tartt. The story happens in New England. It is about 6 close friends studying the classics at Hampton College. This college is small and prestigious, similarly to Bennington College, where the author Tratt studied from 1982 to 1986. The Secret History is like a detective story, but told backwards. Richard Papin, one of the 6 students, looks back on the events that led to their friend Bunny's murder. The novel uncovers the events one by one and explores how Bunny's death affects the group of classic students who were isolated both academically and socially. This book was initially titled The God of Illusions. Its intricate plot and rich prose make it an underrated masterpiece. At number 2, we have The Art of Death by Edwig Danticat. This book touches us all in the most profound way. In The Art of Death, writing the final story, Edwig shares her personal experience of her mother's cancer and reflects on how other writers have approached death in their works. Danticat, who is using writing to make sense of her losses, explores her own writing journey, intertwining it with examples from authors like Gabriel Garcia Marquez and Toni Morrison. The narrative circles through different aspects of death, leading to a poignant prayer in her mother's voice. This book is a touching tribute and significant critique that has the power to deeply affect its readers. It's, however, one of the most underrated books out there. And at the top of our list is Stoner. Stoner is a novel written by John Williams in 1965. It was reissued in 1972, 2003, and 2006 by different publishers. The New York Review Books Classic Edition includes an introduction by John McGarren. The novel falls into the academic or campus novel genre. It tells the story of William Stoner, an unremarkable man who finds solace and meaning in literature and academia. It's a beautiful exploration of quiet and unassuming lives that often go unnoticed. Remember to subscribe to our channel if you found this content valuable. We'll see you in the next one.